Okay, let's go on to example 2 now. I'm going to make a new file in the useStates area, and I'll call it example2.js. And we're just going to have to set up a brand new template because I want to start from scratch so I could show you the step-by-step process on how it's actually set up. In the previous example, we just displayed the default value, but now we want to actually change the numbers while we do something. So let's first set up the basic template of useState from React. And then I'll export default function example2. Let's write it out. And then now here I will first set up the return. And inside this return we want to actually do something. So I'll set up a div. And what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to set up this constant right here with the values, or just these variables, number and set number, is equal to useState, and we're going to put default of 0 just like before. And right now, whenever we call this variable number, it'll always display the value of 0 because that is the default. But let's say we have some sort of button where we can increment and decrement the numbers. So let's actually set up a button. And this one's going to be increment. And what I want to do is I actually want to change the number values. So in order to do that, because we have a button, we need to do some sort of on-click functionality. So if we do on-click is equal to, now we want to actually call the set number, because remember, if we have this number, it's just going to display whatever the default number is, or whatever number it's at currently. But right now, because we want to increment, we want to actually change the value. So these brackets right here, the rounded brackets, are saying only change this when we actually click on the button. So right here on the other side, the arrow, we could do set number, which is calling this variable right here at the top in the useState. And inside this set number, what we're going to do is we're going to change number plus 1 so we can increment it by 1. And that will be for incrementing. And now if we want to decrement something, we just copy and paste it down there, put a minus, and then we put decrement. And then now, in order to actually display what numbers are showing up, we just put the curly brace brackets here underneath, and I'll put number so we could see the number as it changes over time when we click the buttons. So I'll save it, and then I'm going to open up my browser again so I could see what's going on. And this is called example2, so I'm going to go into the browser of example2, or the URL. And you can see right here we have increment and decrement. So increment should increase the value by 1, and decrement should decrease the value by 1. So right here you can see that the default useState value is 0. If I put it side by side here so it's easier to understand, you can see right here that we have useState of 0, which is showing up right here at the top inside our function. And we set up the two buttons, the button here, which is increment, and another button below, which is decrement. Right now there's no stylizing, so it's all just showing up all in one line right here. But after the buttons, you can see here we got whatever display of number that it should be. And what I want to do now is let's click increment. And you can see here that's actually changing the value of the number. And if we just keep clicking it, you can see that it increases the value. But if we want to decrease the number, we can use this one, because here we're decreasing it by -1 or -1. So we decrement it, and you can see here that the numbers go down by 1 now. And that's how you essentially set up this incrementing and decrementing value as you click a button. This example will be on GitHub, which you'll find the link down below in the description box.